Let me get a better view. So of course you can get something that's already made by someone else, but the purpose of this channel, right, teach you all the basics so you can create models like this yourself in the future. Because if there are items that cannot be found on the 3D warehouse, you would have to create them from scratch. Or if it's something that you want to keep it private and confidential, you don't want to share it in the 3D warehouse, you'll have the tools to create your own models. Please subscribe to my channel by pressing the subscribe and bell notification. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. You can search for me at sketchit.fun. Hi everyone, we last left off with the installation of Sketchup 2017. Let's just launch Sketchup Make app first. So you choose the one that is in Architecture Design mm and press Start using Sketchup. Today, I will teach you how to use the Getting Started toolbars provided. The Getting Started toolbar is what you see here. For this preview, we are going to be creating a sofa. Then, by drawing this sofa, we'll learn how to use all the basic tools in the Getting Started toolkit. First of all, you have to learn how to orbit. So by clicking orbit and you rotate around, orbit is for you to rotate around in 3D. Then pen for you to move in a two-dimensional direction. You can move left to right and up to down. Then zoom will be this icon. So when you left click and move up and down, you'll zoom in and out. Zoom extend, it'll zoom to the point whereby all your models are in the screen. So the next tool I want to introduce you is the line tool. If my line is parallel to the green line, as you can see here, the line will turn green. And if I want to lock that direction, I hold on to shift. And no matter how I move, it'll stick the same way. So let's just draw a square. So let's make our sofa 1.5 meters, which is 1500 mm. We'll just type in 1500 and you press enter. And same for the red one. So we know that this line is was following the green axis. Once it's on the green, you hold on to shift. Then you tell the line that you want it to end with respect to this point. And you press left click, yes. Then as you're finishing, you come to the end point, pencil, and this is what happens. When you complete the lines, a square is formed, and in between there will be a face. Now, this is the select tool. It's for you to select the face, which is whatever I have clicked here, or an edge. If you want to select multiple objects, you can either draw a box around them by left clicking and holding it and drawing from the left to the right side. If you do it in the opposite direction, you left click and drag from the right to left, you notice that the box will be different. This variation of the select tool, you can actually select part of the object and the whole object will be chosen, as you can see now. So in certain cases, drawing it from the left to the right will be better, and in other cases, drawing it right to the left will be better. Like this, you see? Whereas if I try and select it from the left to right, it will not work. And to select multiple objects, let's say if you left click one and it becomes blue. You left click a second time, it selects the new selection. But if you want to select multiple objects, you hold on to Control and you notice that the mouse cursor will have a plus and minus. So that's how you select multiple objects. Okay, the next tool I'll be teaching you in this Getting Started toolkit will be the rectangle. Well, actually there's rectangle, rotated rectangle, circle and polygon, but we just use the rectangle first. So the sofa would have something for you to rest on and somewhere for you to put your hands, as you can see. So let's just eyeball it. Yep, and as you can see, there's a basic shape forming already. And the next tool is eraser. You select the eraser tool. It does not erase faces, but it erases lines. It will not work for this. For you to delete the face, you would have to select the face and hit on delete. And if you want the face to reappear, you draw a new line anywhere within your model, and the face will reappear. So next, there is something called push and pull. In AutoCAD, sometimes it's called extrude. So the base of our seat, I'm just gonna make it to his thigh's height, and the rest and the backrest should be higher. So when you're doing push and pull, you have to select the face, and if you hit on Control, that means a new layer. That means it's a new layer. This is the first layer. If you don't use a new layer, the height will be fixed with respect to the first layer that you built. So you just tap on Control and you notice that there will be a plus button appearing. So for this, we'll use 1.3 meters. It's gonna be a huge sofa. Okay, and if you want to make changes, I think it's too high. So I'll make it 1200. Or 1100, you'll change, as you can see here. Then next, I'm teaching you about the paint bucket. So let's change the colors. So I think maybe we can go green. It's not so nice, but and you left click on all the faces and it'll turn to the color that you like. Okay, so we don't need these lines, so we can just delete them. So I'm done with the basics. Once you're done, you select the select tool again. You drag everything here. You select everything, then you right click and make a group. Group is a way to isolate your model from its environment. So imagine if these two objects were not in a group. If you right click and explode, see, they are no longer in a group. And if I try and move him away, that's what's gonna happen. See, he would be glued to the object here. So it's always a good idea to keep them grouped. I just pressed undo, and to press undo, okay, to press undo, we press edit, undo, explode, edit, undo, set, insert point. Or you could press Ctrl Z if you want. So now that it's in a group, you notice that I might have made this chair a bit too big. So it's time to introduce you to the scale tool. To scale correctly, there are a few ways, but for this preview tutorial, I will cover the simplest way. You choose a point whereby the line intersects goes across the whole model, or you say uniform scale about opposite point. So yeah, Yeah, this looks about right. But let's make a bit more changes. So, and I double click into the model, and I press push pull. I can make the seat bigger. Next tool I'll select, right? After I select this seat, because I want to create a pattern, is the offset button. When you move the offset button, this is what it does. It creates an offset of the face that you selected. You can go inwards or outwards. And you want to cancel it, you press escape. Then when you select again, you press the select tool again, you select the object. Now, I want to introduce you to the move tool. So after you select the move tool and after the object has been selected, you have to pick an origin within the group. So I choose this left corner, and like the line, if you want to move in parallel to the red axis, the line will be red. If you want to hold on to the red axis, you hold on to shift. Same for the green and the blue. When you press escape, you will cancel your command. So that's move. That's the basic way to use move. Then after that, there's rotate. Rotate, first you have to select your plane and origin. So if you're rotating along the blue point, perpendicular to the blue axis, the protractor for the rotate function will be blue. And if it was in the red direction, if it was perpendicular to the red direction, it will be red. And same for the green. I'll show you what it all looks like. So let's type the blue. After you select the first point, you select the second point, and you can rotate in perpendicular around the blue axis. Let's press escape. Then let's try it out for the red. Select point of origin. Select the second point. Yeah. And same for the green. Yeah, sorry, I should have chose a different color. Then next, I'll be introducing you to the tape measure tool. So the tape measure tool is for you to measure. You see, as you can see, the width of the chair is 1020 mm or 1.02 meters. There are a few other functions built into the tape measure. I'll cover them in other videos. There is a text function. You can name this a sofa. And if you don't want it, just select it and press delete. Or you can also erase. So this is a 3D warehouse. So if you decide to turn this into a component, you can actually share it into the 3D warehouse. Or if you don't want to share it, you can just save it as a component. You can see the components that you've created here. You see, we just created a sofa. I'll cover components in more details in other videos, but this is just a very brief preview on how you can use SketchUp, right? The getting started tools to create a basic model. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. In my future videos, I'll be covering more concepts and more functions in more detail. So if you've already installed SketchUp, I just wanted to show you how easy you can create a model. Okay, since we are here, I'll just show you a bit of what the 3D warehouse is. Of course you can download a sofa very easily. Now let's pick this one, sofa 1 by Mr. D. Just press yes. Let me rotate it around. Let me get a better view. So of course you can get something that's already made by someone else. But the purpose of this channel, right, teach you all the basics so you can create models like this yourself in the future. Because if there are items that cannot be found on the 3D warehouse, you would have to create them from scratch. Or if it's something that you want to keep it private and confidential, you don't want to share it in the 3D warehouse, you will have the tools to create your own models. Alright, so this is the end of this tutorial. The next time I'll teach you how to set up the actual workspace. Alright, thank you very much for your time and thank you for watching. Till next time, please subscribe to my channel by pressing the subscribe and bell notification. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. You can search for me at sketchit.fun.